don't want to wait. The fight's gonna happen. They want it. Sunbreakers want 5 seconds and Flippin's back. Now you've got to survive 15 more for Red Pepper. Can they do it? Can Flourish hold? Sunbreakers is ready, and they're ready to step in.
Eva is gone. That was their best defender. And now it could be all over. Zombie Billy May is going to be pressed on. That's another one. Double kill there for the Morgan Le Fay. They're walking right down.
Anyone do it? No! No one will stop the Sunbreakers!
Remarkable Wolf. Their house was made of straw.
They're winners! Sunbreakers takes the Divine Final!
Is hot. You get to give me all you got.
The league has been shattered! It's in darkness! It's Sunbreakers dominant! You can't beat that! It's a triple! Make it a quadra! Make it a pentakill for Z-Tan! Can he defend it? He's got a double kill! The power got it! And that's it! That is it! Dark Omen, get it! Eyes on the Titan! Zoinks in the Titan room! Aegis on the Searing Pain! And he gets it! Capri ultimate! And it was the Morgan! And now the real Capri pulls through!
Me all you got.
He just wrote the fire charge!
He grinded! He grinded!
Oh, no.
He real grinded! First time we've seen all game. Turning around, he's straight.
Oh no, my God! The turnaround! He's crazy! Huge stun! Oh my God! The double Thor! Into the double! Tactical Faders was an underdog all season long, but now they can call themselves Smite Draft League champions!
Is they're finding out that the big, bad, remarkable wolf, their house was made of straw, blowing it wide open. They will take it. Sunbreakers in 4.
At the start of the season, the sun rose to the sky, and in all 3 divisions, it's been broken. Dark Omen is on death's door. Can they make the play happen? Radvilk has a double. Will anyone do it? No! No one will stop the Sunbreakers. The league has been shattered. It's in darkness. It's Sunbreakers dominance, and they take the godlike finals.
Content hot.
Hello, Smite Draft League, and welcome to the Immortal Draft Show. It's time to see who lands where in the Immortal Division. Let's hand it over to your hosts, D-Lo, Phoenix, and the Divine Ape. It's draft time!
That vocal fry, man's vocal cord's gonna be burnt out for days. Hello, everyone, and welcome to what makes us the Smite Draft League. It's Immortal Division Draft Time, baby! I'm D-Lo, joined by Divine Ape and Phoenix. We have Nublet as the almighty eye in the sky. Gentlemen, I know Immortal holds a very special place in both of your hearts. I'd like you guys to tell me why this draft is so important to each of you, and give a little bit of speculation on the side for what we're going to see.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be one of the most exciting drafts. Everyone in Godlike has already been drafted, which is our strongest division. But sometimes you have some leftovers from the Godlike division that are just as strong as some of these Godlike players. So expect some names here. I expect some names here to be really high-end talented players. And that's really cool for our Immortal division because it's just like more talent. We have a lot of talent in this league, and they're here as well.
Yeah, I mean, what's special about Immortal for me is that I played an Immortal last year, and it's a lot of Grandmasters players like playing down, Divine players playing up, and then every once in a while you get just high ranked players trying comp for their first time, and it's a huge melting pot of like different styles of play. It's really exciting to watch and play in as well.
Absolutely. It's definitely a bit of a mixing grounds, right? You have the sweatiest of the sweaty down there too, but you have some people who, despite being very highly skilled, are down to maybe, mix it up a little bit, get a bit more wild in their bag. So when it comes to just prioritization of frontline, carries, damage, defense, who do we think we see being scooped up first?
I expect to see a lot of carries come out immediately. So that's going to be your mids, your jungles, and your ADCs. That's where they kind of left out in the Godlike division, is you left some good players up. I can name some for you. Thoughtman Jones is still on the table right now. After the Godlike draft, we have people like Perspective Duck, who got a lot of pentas, it feels like, last season, even though it was really just one really big one. And you got people like in the mid lane, like Zarksith, and people in the jungle and mid as well, like Rasology, are still on the table for this Immortal division. And so I expect to see those types of names going in this division.
Ape, anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of godlike players left open, and there's a lot of people who, like I said, like high ranked players that maybe haven't tried comp before that that destroyed in the scouting grounds, like really like ran to terror. So I'm excited to see like some of those guys probably get drafted first.
You know what I'm excited to see? I mean, I know Anthony talked about it when it came to the godlike, but I'm loving just the art, the new just changes of god representation, and the merch, man. The merch, the jerseys that we saw yesterday had me getting chills. It's fantastic. Really, please, everyone, make sure to throw tons of credit to Nublet, who is absolutely just in the dungeon, just hammering those things out. It's a fantastic thing to see when you can wear your team with pride. And speaking of here, Wild Inferno of Immortal making return to start it off. Powa will be your captain, and it's going to be always an interesting thing to see for the first pick. A lot of pressure when you're the first pick. Everyone's got their eyes on you. Question is, who will it be for the first pick? They earned their name against this team, but will now use their powers for evil. It's Penta Duck going to Wild Inferno.
This makes the most sense. I just said it just a couple seconds ago. I think the Perspective Duck is one of the most sleeper picks, and it didn't go into Godlike this season, but it's here in Immortal, which is kind of Pentaduck's home, kind of where he belongs, because he just dominates this division. He did it last season. I expect he'll do it this season as well, and I'm not surprised to see him go first. We saw, I believe it was Physics last season, go first for Immortal. And this season it's an ADC going first. I like this a lot more because I think that ADCs are a commodity that you need, and that's exactly what Perspective Duck is. So I am super excited to see Wild Inferno also with Powa, a previous caster staff member. Whew, that's gonna be exciting.
Descending from the booth to just take some souls yourself. We wish Powa the best of luck. Coming on to the captains though, here we have a little change of pace. Flippin' Ninjas gonna be the captain for Eclipse. First pick being lined up here. Eclipse seems ready to go up against the Stormcallers because they're packing extra large Poncho as their first pick.
Extra Large Poncho is just one of those players that came out of the SG and was dominant in the mid lane. I remember organizing some of the games with them, and that guy was just like, oh, we're up against Extra Large Poncho? GG. That's how it is. And so if he's going to be in the mid lane, picking the Baba Yagas, picking the Merlins that he showed off, I expect to see a lot of strong picks from him.
So far, certainly been a premonition that Phoenix Spotu got them C2 pants on, because damage has been the name of the game so far. Dark Omen, Royalty, new captain, new to the SDL, but not new to the Amateur Smite League as a whole. Who will be the right-hand man of the Monarch? It's going to be for first pick, Thoughtman Jones!
TMJ, man. TMJ, I'm not surprised as well to see him here. I said carriers were going to be the picks. We have Perspective Duck in the first one. Now we have Thoughtman Jones. The difference between Perspective Duck and Thoughtman Jones, and why you probably see a 1 and 3, is not too much in their skill play. They're going to be very neck and neck. So when you see Wild Inferno versus Dark Omen, expect a very close lane. The only difference is the vocability that Thoughtman Jones brings to his team is a really high level.
And also, that man's a remorseless killer. I interviewed him last season, and
Yes.
that guy has no qualms with just rushing you down the duo lane, solo killing you with glaives aplenty. Moving on down to Flourish, we have the new captain here, Dr. Killjoy, stepping up in a leadership role. DKG certainly in a hurry to grab this player. Flourish's first pick is going to be Rushology!
Let's go Rushology. This is just another strong, and overall, you don't usually pick a person that can play multiple roles, but in Rushology, he played so many different Scouting Grounds games at so many different roles, and we were asking him literally not to play jungle at the end of the Scouting Games because he was so strong and was just carrying games. 22-4, I think, at one point, on like a Thanatos or an Erlang Shen. So I expect to see him really escalate really well in the Immortal division.
Definitely looking to Rushology. Ran Scouting Grounds like a train. Hopefully going to be able to continue that into the regular season. Continuing on with the picks. Pick number 5 here for the draft. Tatri going to be heading up the King Slayers, the semifinalists of Immortal last season. But who do we have here to fall the Mighty Monarchs? It's going to be Vayu!
Yeah, and Vayu is one of these players that actually new to comp, new to SDL, and that did not stop him from just stomping the scouting grounds. One of these just high ranked players, who's super mechanically gifted on the meta ADCs. We saw him have like 20 kill games on Hachiman and Rama during the scouting grounds. So no surprise to me that he's getting picked at the top here, especially with another ADC, which is what every team's looking for now.
Shame to hear that they're playing Hachi so much. Hopefully he'll mix it up. But no, Vayu, absolutely talented player. Speaking of talent, we got some more coming up for you. Seismic Shockwaves, one of the premiering team names, and our new premiering team captain, Adora, gonna be heading this one for pick number 6. We've got Syzax!
This is just another immortal god. We've seen him before in this division. Last season was extremely strong. And I think that the competition between Adora and Syzax, we can already start talking a little about how comps are going to work out. Those two fit together very well. And it's going to be what pushes them forward and probably is one of the strongest teams already in this draft.
For sure. But speaking of one of the strongest teams in the draft, what's up next? Sunbreakers. We're talking about legacies to live up to. Everyone's got eyes on this. You gotta keep the name going. And who better to do it than Koala Mong, one of the premier players of the Divine team of the same name that also took home the gold. And it seems that back from the dead and here to crush the competition, first pick for Sunbreakers is going to be Zombie Crusher!
Zombie Crusher falling from Godlike, in my opinion. This was a pick that we should have seen up there, but actually is going to be an Immortal, which means you're going to want to keep your eyes on him. This is something that Divine was talking about, which is some of these people are Godlike level players. And that's exactly what they are. Thoughtman Jones, Protective Duck, Rushology were all extremely high level players. And so I'm not surprised that Zombie Crusher might just run through this division.
It's like y'all said before, it's a melting pot. And
Yeah.
of course, those are going to oftentimes the people that are coming down from Godlike, the ones that we have water falling in, are the ones that you'll see being snatched up first, certainly seeming to fall in that line. And it's certainly seeming that damage is what's on everybody's mind. Here we have on the Storm Colors, man, look at that teal. So pretty. Cosmic Vibes going to be heading this
There
one.
he is.
And it really is beautiful. Thank you, Newwood. Gonna be for the first pick, journeying from across the pond to bring the pain. They usually say it's all facts, no printer, but we instead, for the first pick, have printers.
Puentas coming out. This is, oh man, an EU pick in the first level of this division is something that's going to bless us throughout this entire season at this point, because Printers is going to not only bring a certain level of play in almost every single role, but also he's going to bring a level of knowledge to this game for this team that's going to be really good. And that's going to be a great match for Cosmic Vibes because they both know a ton about this game and their teams are going to love that. And thank you, Cosmic, for joining us as well
Just
for this
about to
pick.
say, really appreciate you taking the time, man. So kind of you. I know you're a busy man picking it up. And also, zooted up. Look at the suit, man. He's looking great. Fantastic. And of course, being the Snake Draft, we got a second pick coming up here for Storm Callers. Beware all Kuzenbos. This player is out to stomp any turtle they come across. 9th pick is going to be Mario Bro for Storm Callers.
Yeah, and Mario Bro, an Xbox player, so a man after my own heart. And when we asked his playstyle, he just said aggressive. So aggressive 1v1s in the duo lane is what you're going to see from him. Another ADC pick top. Which is, smart picks from, Storm Callers. So we're going to see him on those aggressive picks, probably Rama and Hachiman. We're going to see a lot of those this season. But I'm excited to see what he brings to the duo lane.
Absolutely. And we're also excited to see what Sunbreakers continues to stack up for this Season 3 draft. Looking to be Koala Mong's next pick. We're searching. We're finding. Who do we got lined up here? It's going to be Shady Bird!
Falling from the grace right now is Shady Bird, because this is going to be a situation of a Sunbreakers meeting his own team again, if I am correct. This is Immortal Shady Bird that won last season. And so if this is going to have to be a repeat from Shady Bird, have to carry his team and do the exact same thing he did last season, play a lot of Bot, a lot of Fear No Evil is going to have to come out from him. And no Remarkable Wolf here. We had him last division in the Godlike Captains. So sad, no Godlike for Shady Bird, but he will run it here with Sunbreakers again.
Under new management, but certainly the skill is not new whatsoever. Shady Bird's been a threat. Continuing on down the line, pick 11, Adora. What are we going to be picking up here? They may be mini, but they certainly are mighty as well. It's going to be Mini Delvin!
Mini Delvin, another name that we saw in the Soul Lane just pop off. It was in Scouting Grounds was nothing to laugh at when you got a Mini Delvin on your team, because we had to make sure when we assign teams in Scouting Grounds that you put Mini Delvin on one team and then you put someone like Dogman Jones on the other team, Perspective Duck on the other team, Zarksith on the other team. You don't want to have Mini Delvin on the team running lobbies.
And continuing right on down the line, it really has been so much damage picked up here by all these teams. It seems that everyone's got aggression on the mind, which is a fantastic thing to see. It's going to stack up to be a great Season 3. Tatri searching for their second pick. Who's it going to be? Their name might be difficult to read out, but the stats are far more simple for you. It's going to be Azinix!
Yeah, it is pretty difficult to say, and I think might call him Axie throughout this entire season. But right after Mini Delvin, you have Axie, different role, but same situation. Just another person that ran through our Scouting Grounds games and will be able to probably run it through this division as well. I'm surprised to see him here. I'm gonna do a brutally honest pick here. Because there are some other mid laners that are open. I think we might be seeing, or even junglers that are open, which is what Xenix does. So I'm expecting to see a couple more big mid jungle picks.
Well, let's see if that ends up being the case. Flourish searching for their second player as well. 13th pick going to go to Dr. Killjoy. It's going to be Realty!
Man, and just another carry, just another person that's going to carry your games for you. Realty play some very different kinds of gods and different types of builds. We saw last season an MLF pick that was a tank MLF. And so I expect to see some really odd builds and some cooking up. They're cooking, Realty is.
Absolutely is the case. I mean, it's exactly what you said right afterwards too, man. Phoenix has really got a lock on this thing. Divination to the max, because damage, just the name of the game here. And speaking of, you have Dogman already. Who are you going to add to that already stellar foundation to Dark Omen? Royalty looking like they want to ensure this monarchy to last 1,000 years, because they're going to be picking up Regency!
Regency, playing under a different name during Scouting Grounds, but showed up during the last 2 days, I believe, of our Scouting Grounds game. And when he did, he showed off his skills in jungle, I believe, as well as in solo a little bit. And so I don't know where to expect him on this team, because you already have some really strong players in Thogman Jones, as well as the captain and Royalty. But you're going to see him, and it's going to be a scary sight to see.
Absolutely. Just if you see that person walking down in the lane, I am turning the opposite direction and hightailing it back to Fountain. Clips, continuing it down the line as we begin to approach the end of this second round here for pick number 15. Who will be joining the Poncho? It's going to be Bybirth!
Yeah, and Bybirth, jungle main. And when we talked about his playstyle, he said he likes to dive. Question mark. So I don't know. So his playstyle, he's definitely want to be getting in there, getting aggressive, which has been sort of the theme of all the picks, here in Immortal, and something that Eclipse is really going to want, especially with getting Poncho as their first pick. So really excited to see what Bybirth is going to bring, like dictating the pace in these games.
You're already securing some solid synergy for your side, and that's great to see the captains have that on their mind. It's not just individual assets you're drafting the complete package. You're drafting the complete team. Let's see if Powa falls in line with that theory. Going to be looking to join Penta Duck. Pick number 16. You might be in the wrong MOBA, my friend, but we'll still welcome you nonetheless. We got A Paragon.
Yeah, and A Paragon, he's one of the only players that didn't put aggressive for playstyle. He's an ADC player. He said he likes early macro play, late game carry play. So sort of like what the mindset of an ADC should be at most times. He's gonna play passive, in the lane, probably Rama and Hachiman's what the meta's looking like right now. And then when it comes to the late game, he's just going to pop off and try to carry the game the best he can.
Absolutely. And now we're looking to see what Powell will decide to secure for the second pick of, or the third pick of this draft for themselves. It seems that Wild Inferno going to be looking to say hasta la vista, baby, to the competition. We got I Terminator.
And just like the name suggests, this guy's gonna run at everybody. I Terminator. He's a solo laner. You know, he plays aggressive gods. His most played god when I looked was Kakulin. So you know he's just gonna be jumping on waves, jumping on people, going big, being that guy, and just getting in there, which is what I love to see personally.
It's just aggression all around, man. Continuing the trend. It's going to be. I'm expecting like 50 kill games on each side, 100 kill games. I want it to just be everyone running at each other constantly. I
don't know
want
if I want that.
fields washed in red.
Yes,
I
that's
want
exactly
blood,
what
Phoenix.
we want.
Continuing on, we'll see if Eclipse is going to oblige Flippin' Ninjas. Now considering their play might be a little bit less silly than the name indicates, because this is a scary pickup. It's going to be Looney Tunes.
Another carry, ADC coming out of the dual lane is going to be strong. Cardi B, Charybdis is a big pick for Looney Tunes. Almost a one trick. If you know Rama Wolf, you probably know Looney Tunes on the Charybdis. So I expect to see great things from the dual lane. I don't have a support as of yet for them. That's one of the big things. So you want to get a strong support for Looney Tunes.
Absolutely. Everyone's going to have to start thinking about those defensive options as we begin to round out, because it does seem, in fact, that's going to be the last thing at the bottom of the bargain bin, with everyone got damage on the mind. Dark Omen, let's see if they decide to continue following that pattern. To join here, pick number 19 for Royalty in the Season of Souls. Who better to grab for yourself than the Reaper himself?
Yeah, and Reaper's a new face to the SDL. Was actually a divine prospect. So clearly Royalty, believes in his play after seeing him in the scouting grounds, picking up in the Immortal, especially so high, with a ton of other players still open. So really excited to see, what Reaper does to kind of step up to the plate. These are kind of some big shoes to fill. So I'm just really excited to see him play.
It's going, like we said, there's pressure all around here, but certainly when you're going up from a division, you have something to prove to the rest of the team. But I have confidence that Reaper is going to be able to fill those boots nicely. Flourish going to continue to try to fill up their pairs of shoes, their jerseys, in fact. Dr. Killjoy going to be picking up the classic, the reliable, the scariest Yemoja this side of the game, Lucid Colors!
And Lucid Colors actually, for those who don't know, was my support when I played in the Immortal Division. So I had the pleasure of being in the Lucid backpack every game, and that's exactly what it's like. That guy picks Yemoja, and he just gets in there. He hits all the Yemoja threes where he's just pulling people in. And another thing, a little insider information, is he's so good at telling you exactly what they want to be doing. So really excited to see them picked up here.
It's important to have that communication established from the outset. And also, I like that the Lucid backpack going to be hopping on his back like a koala bear, but unfortunately not going to be on Koala Mong's team. Tatri going to be looking for the next pick here. Oh, and this is a big one. Bound to bring ruination to those that oppose her. Rejoining the Kingslayers from Season 2, it's the Tiamat Terror, Zarsith!
You cannot underestimate Zarxith. She ran through Immortal last season. I am so surprised that she dropped this low. 3rd round for Zarxith, but she's going to show up and she's going to run it with Kingslayers again, because you cannot take enough gods away from Zarxith to make it so she cannot do enough in your games. And she also is just a moral boost for your team, because she's always a very happy person.
For sure, it's good, and that's always important. I'm always stressing the mental game as just as important of a factor. Sometimes it can be even more of one than just the skills and the stats that you have on paper. A huge asset being picked up there by the Kingslayers. Seismic Shockwaves continuing down the line. Adora's got their eye on the money. They got their eye on the former Swiss Rolls veteran here. We're going to be picking up Aridi!
Yeah, and a smart choice from Adora. You want a jungler high, you don't want to wait too long, and already Diamond jungler, you know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to be, getting in there. This is their first SDL season, and they said it was their first time trying competitive Smite. So I'm excited to see, how they sort of like dictate the pace of the game as well.
And watching the Scouting Grounds game that Aridi put on, it was an absolute show. You wouldn't think that was their first venture into the
Not at all.
competitive scene because it was doing a fantastic job chasing out the backline and just destroying any mages caught in their path. So an amazing pickup there for the Seismic Shockwaves. Continuing down the line, Sunbreakers trying to reestablish dominance. Here goes Koala, going to be inserting themselves into the Immortal season. We have Insertania!
And Insertania is a smart choice from the Sunbreakers, especially in this meta right now, because they are someone who really likes to babysit the carries. So, I mean, we've all played with ADC players before. They need help. They need this, they need that. Insertania is happy to do that. They're happy to just be there for them. So expect maybe like sneaky rotations where the support comes back to duo lane in the mid game. So it's going to be exciting to see.
Koala hiring not only a fantastic player, but also a babysitter in your own right. You don't even have to pay for that. Fantastic. A great 2-in-1 deal. Moving right along, we have Cosmic. Hopefully going to be rejoining us soon. There he is. Hey, man. Good to see you. Thanks again for joining. Cosmic Vibes. Yeah, everyone blow kiss. Come on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Cosmic. Going to be moving right along. Pick number 24 for the Stormcallers. It's going to be Volg.
Volg, the solo lane name you've heard before. You've heard him in support as well. So expect to see him maybe in. I would expect him to see in the solo lane here with this team as of right now. But do expect to see some Guan Yus and some weird assassin picks if you want to as well, because I have seen Volg play some very unusual ones in ranked as of late.
It's always good when you have that variability for your team, and especially knowing Cosmic as well is very capable of that same exact trait. Continuing right along here, Cosmic's got another pick. Better choose it wisely, my friend. For pick number 25, we have Spark lighting up the competition.
Joining his old teammate as well, Spin Spark 44 and Volg were together on Dark Omen Divine last season. No longer on Dark Omen, I can tell you that much. Stormcallers is a very different name and probably going to bring a bit of a different vibe as well, because you have printers on your team now, as well as Volg and Spin Spark. Crazy situation to be on Stormcallers right now.
It's really nice to see when you you have those prior bonds. It knocks out the issue of synergy, not necessarily immediately because you still have other components to the team, but it certainly puts a dent in it. Continuing right along here, Koala Mong eyeing what's left in the drafting pool, looking to school and bull on all the competition. We've got for pick number 26, Bull Cakes!
Nice. And Bull Cakes is a smart pick towards the end right here, just because as the Sunbreakers want to round out their composition, they just want a solo laner who's going to be sort of like that role player and fit in. And that's exactly what Bull Cakes is going to be. They're diamond and ranked. They like to play aggressive, which is the best way to play solo, in my opinion. So it's going to be great to see them sort of round out the Sunbreakers draft.
And role players are certainly important. They can be the bricks that make up the foundation that keep the structure alive in a team. Fantastic pickup there for Sunbreakers. Seismic Shockwaves continuing along. Adora, who will we go for? You've heard his voice. Now see him play. Mom, get the camera. Going to Seismic Shockwaves is High Res Hindu Man.
Hindu, baby. Let's go. We got high-res employees in SDL. Let's go, dude. That is so awesome that we have Hindu Man here playing support. We saw him in Scouting Grounds play in Godlike, Immortal, and in Divine Scouting Grounds matches. In every single one of them, he played in a dominant fashion, showing us his Geb, his Sylvanas, I think he played Athena one time, and just ran through games. And so great to have Hindu Man as a voice on your team.
Was out damaging people at first doing those Scouting Grounds. It was looking awfully scary. Maybe not quite knowing your role there, my friend. Hindu's gonna have to chill out. Moving right along here, Kingslayers. They've got their sights set on their next pick. This person with the precision to take you down for pick number 28. Tatri selecting Scopy.
Scopy, another big old menace coming out for Kingslayers. We're already talking about how scary Kingslayers is right now at this moment. But you pick up another mid lane, which is a little unusual to do in this situation. But as far as I understand, Scopey can play multiple different roles if need be, including like solo and ADC if they want to go ahead and swap over there.
It's great. Again, variability is important, man. It's
Yeah.
great to have people who specialize in their roles and do what they do the best. But at the same time, when the chips are down, player can't show up, they have a stuffed nose, you might need that person to step up, take on a role they're not quite used to. So flexibility cannot be an underrated feature for your teams for sure. Flourish, continuing right along here. Who are we going to have to join the star-studded cast? Dr. Killjoy is going to be looking for it. Going once, going twice, sold! Off the market, going to Flourish. It's rep for sale!
And this is probably the highest value pick of the draft. Rep for sale is actually a Grandmasters jungler that has sort of slipped through the cracks of everyone that's picked before them. Getting them at 29 is a steal. Without it, you don't even need any further elaboration on that one. This is a really big pick for Flourish.
It's rep for discount right now. They're very happy with that pick. Fantastic work there by Dr. Killjoy to recognize the situation and make sure to take advantage of it properly. But there's still plenty of fantastic players on the board, must be said. So any one of them can feel like a steal when it comes to it. Pick number 30 here, Dark Omen. We have Royalty looking to try to round out the Kingsguard, and it's going to be for their 30th pick of the draft. It's going to be EC Benson.
Yeah, and EC Benson is one of those players that plays support and solo. So you know what they want to do? They want to help the team in whatever way possible, whether it be big team fight ultimates maybe from like a Geb, or whether it's from an Amaterasu. You're sort of filling that same tank frontline role in these late game team fights. So I'm excited to see, because it's sort of like a drastic change from what everyone else in the solo is playing, which is just hyper aggression getting in there. So it's going to be fun to see, EC Benson have like a change of pace from the other solos.
And sometimes it's just what you need. Showing that adaptability, once again, important trait for these players. Flipping Ninjas on Eclipse, now looking to secure their 4th player for the team here. And of course, when the moon swallows the sun, the cold shortly follows. Gonna be bringing down the chills here. It's going to be Frost!
Frost, what a cold intro for Frost. I mean, Frost, they're solo jungle, they're diamond and ranked. I'm pretty sure this is their first competitive season, like in the SDL. So it's sort of a new face. But I mean, if you've seen them on the rank streets, you know what they can do. I'm excited to see whether they put them in, like solo or jungle. Looking at the rest of the draft, it's sort of up in the air. But I'm just excited to see what they bring to this Eclipse team.
And sometimes, even when you're not on your most typical role, you can find greatness that you never expected to within yourself. Absolutely. We have a captain as a great example. Cosmic, though not being a support main, did fantastic throughout the season on the Oathkeepers.
They did.
Continuing right along here, Powa going to secure the 32nd pick and your 4th pick for Wild Inferno. Low in cholesterol, but high in skill. Going to Wild Inferno next is Almond Butter.
Almond butter, and I do love almond butter. It's a great food.
I've never had it before, can't say.
Yeah, but it's very sweet. Powa picking another great pick here in almond butter. Last season, almond butter was in Divine and moving up to Immortal, but deserved. Really, it is deserved. And you're running out of supports at this point, and so you got to start getting those quality supports. And almond butter is exactly that. It's a good quality Divine level, but now Immortal level support.
You've been promoted, my friend. Congratulations. You're in the big leagues now. Almond Butter, I'm sure, is going to put on a show for us there. And now, to round it out, the beginning of the end here, gentlemen. I'm excited. Pick number 33. To round out Wild Inferno, Powa is going to pick Skizzy!
Skizzy is a great choice here to round out the Wild Inferno draft, specifically because they play ADC and mid. So they want to be that late game damage hyper carry, whether on a mage or a hunter, and they can fill both roles, which is great. A great way to round out the Wild Inferno draft. Just someone who can plug and play where they need them.
Absolutely, and that's really good too, man. When you have someone you just put on the ground, wind them up, let them go, watch the destruction ensue, and that means that Wild Inferno has now locked in their comp, and it's one to behold for certain. I really look forward to seeing what Powa does with these assets on his team. Eclipse looking to do the same now, rounding out the rest of their draft. It's going to be one player who I only associate one phrase with. That's Thor Good, the golden child of the Immortal Season 2 draft. It's gonna be Physics DZN!
You got Heavy Warcry in the casting team now. We got a lot of Soul Laners on staff now. You have Physics DZN still holding strong for the Immortal Division Soul Laners. Yeah, and they've got to represent this Soul Lane for Eclipse. By the way, the sickest jersey. I love the Eclipse jersey, and I think Physics will rep it very well this season. I think there might be consideration for him not being the sub on this team.
Absolutely. I mean, I would definitely not imagine that you could not put him on starter. Like, that guy's crazy. And that's fantastic when you have that ability. We saw it on prior championship level teams where Trap Bunny, one of the subs on the Divine Sunbreakers, was able to work just as well and fluidly with the starters. Now Dark Omen, looking to try to round out their family as well. Royalty's final pick, looking to put a cavity into your chest. It's Step Dentist.
I literally just said this with Physics DZN, which is probably not someone you want to put on your bench. Step Dentist falling to this division is one of the craziest things. I think that Divine Ape just said it a couple seconds ago, which is, I think he said it for, is he behind my head? No, it's not. Who do you say it for? You said it for someone fell too low.
Oh, rep for sale.
Rep for sale. Yes, rep for sale. This is the exact same situation for Step Dentist. Fell way too far.
And you know what? Sometimes that just allows you to just shine even greater down here in Immortal. A diamond in the rough, truly, is going to be the pickup there. Step Dentist going to lock out Dark Omen. Flourish, looking to finish things off here. Dr. Killjoy's got a hard decision ahead of him. Who will the doctor decide on? You have the other PhD student already off the board. It's going to be Crisp to round out the picks for Flourish.
Yeah, great roundup for Flourish. I don't know Chris, but I already like them. When that's what roles they play, people normally give like a couple, like 2 or 3. Chris just said solo. That's what they want. That's what they
Confident.
do. They're a solo laner through and through, and that's what we're gonna see. We're probably gonna see them on like some of these aggressive picks. Think like Cucullins, you think like your King Arthurs, whatever sort of like the meta is looking like. Probably gonna see a lot of Hercules still. So I'm excited for what Chris brings to the solo lane.
We saw it, in fact, if you looked at the Scouting Grounds game on the Zebra Cakes, Crisp was taking it from all the way back in your fountain all the way down to your fountain. Crisp is a monster when it comes to the aggression. Flourish have gotten themselves quite the team. Kingslayers now looking to even the odds here. Tatri's searching. Tatri's going to find, for the 37th pick, it's going to be Calvin!
And Calvin is one of these players that is a mid jungle. So they play both those roles, which tells me that they really want to be involved in fights, which is awesome. It doesn't matter what part of this mid 3v3 they're going to be a part of, whether it's mid or jungle. You know that they want to be sort of helping control the pace of the game, which is an exciting pick to round out your draft. An exciting pick in general. Like I was saying before, these people that can fill multiple roles really bring a lot to a draft style league.
It also just shows an intimate understanding of that tight 3v3 core. If you know both of the parts of the roles, mid and jungle, back and forth, like the palm of your hand, fantastic tool to round out your team. Seismic Shockwaves looking to finish a star-studded cast. Who do we have here for pick 38 to finish it off? Azor!
Which is ironic because just what I was saying about Calvin also applies to Azor as well. They play jungle support. So not necessarily like jungle mid where they're going to be like in a super damaging role. You might be able to expect to see them on gods like Circuit that sort of like fit both those jungle and support roles. High CC, want to be a part of the 3v3 and just want to be a part of deciding the outcome of the game, which is always someone you want to have on your team, someone that wants the ball in their hands essentially.
For sure. Someone who can make plays and just swing things. That clutch factor, certainly a useful one for your team. Sunbreakers looking to round out the dynasty of Season 2. Who will we have swaddled by rat milk from birth? And now with the chance to prove if the rodent rampage continues here in Immortal, joining the Sunbreakers is going to be the Rat Child!
And if there's one person I don't envy, it is a Rat Child for all the pressure that we have just put on them.
Shouldn't have chosen Rat. Any
Taking the Rat
any
Mode
other road
name,
would have been good.
taking the Rat Mode name, taking the Sunbreakers name. These are big shoes to fill. And as another person who is a jungle support, I think they have the potential to be able to do it. Just like those are the roles that understand the map and how to play it the most. So it's going to be really exciting to see, what the Rat Child is going to do, and hopefully they live up to the pressure we've just amassed on top of them.
We're hoping that apple won't fall too far from the tree. But before we get to our final pick here for our Immortal Division Season 3 draft, we have a few quick messages with love from the SDL. Cosmic going to join us for that, though. Thanks, Cosmic.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. We here, the SDL, strive to provide quality, competition, and content for your enjoyment. Thank you guys very much for watching. We hope you'll continue to keep an eye on our content by subscribing to the Twitch. We also make sure to post our games, even the ones that are streamed, to the Smite Draft League YouTube. So please be sure to check us out there as well if you don't mind. If you want any of the lovely merch you saw on your screens, and tell me, how could you not? Look at the colors of the storm. Just look at it. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's mwah, chef's kiss. Be sure to pop over to the merch channel of the Discord. Divine's draft will be Sunday night. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Be sure to watch how the epic draft saga continues to unfold here. I'm excited. Phoenix and Divine, what thoughts do we have before we get into the last pick?
I want to say that a lot of these teams have really strong players, but the really nice thing about it is they're all spread out, basically, is what's going on. So we don't have one team with 5 really strong players. We have 8 different teams with really strong players on every single one of them. And so I expect to see a really good season. And I literally asked them when they did this draft to like make sure that you guys pick teams that are going to be strong and good for this. And that's their goal, is when they become captains. And so that's exactly what they did here. And so take a look at these guys, because you're going to see a lot of them probably at the end of the playoffs, at the end of the season.
For sure. Anything to add there, Abe?
Yeah, I mean, I think, with all the players that we've seen, exactly what I was saying from the beginning, we have a good mix of Grandmasters players that, just barely missed the Godlike draft, and Divine players being called up, for their first, Immortal game. So we have a big mix of players, but none of the teams seem more stacked than the rest. So it looks like this will be a very close league. And I'm just excited to watch and see how this all plays out.
Absolutely. It's going to be a joy to watch. Cosmic, anything to you before we get into your final pick, buddy?
I really think that I should pick someone a little bit stronger, because my team is not really. There you go. I think that's about it.
Dude, you chased off our special guest, bro. That's messed up. All right, he's back. All right, good. Sorry about that, Cosmic. Phoenix is no longer allowed to talk for the rest of this. Anyway, continuing on. For the final pick here, to round out the Storm Callers. Keep the collie away. Keep the collie at bay. It's going to be the Lizard.
The Lizard, and I'd be surprised if he gets collie ever throughout the entire, Immortal season.
Right,
but you have seen this guy in a bunch of highlight reels. What a great way to round out the Stormcallers draft. Just picking up like a strong jungler. Funny enough, he also plays solo lane, so if that's where maybe Stormcallers look to put them, they are someone who knows like multiple roles, as a specialist. But I'd be surprised if they weren't jungling this season. But we'll see.
And fun fact behind the draft, behind the scenes, me and Phoenix were there when considering that final pick. This was actually an idea pitched by another one of the captains, to which after deciding to pick up the Lizard, that captain said, shoot, why did I tell him that? Because the Lizard is a fantastic pickup for yourself. Excellent job to all of the captains here. We have a smorgasbord of fantastic players. Just surveying the battlefield here, guys. What are our thoughts? Divine, I'm going to start with you.
The teams, they look so evenly matched. I think I'm going to give the edge to a Flourish. That, I guess that's that's a bold prediction. I just like down the line, if you just look like each of the players they drafted, I think they fit well together, as well as they're all really good players that have like proven themselves so far. But the teams look so evenly matched.
I had to bet for my boy Hindu Man, so I'm going with Seismic Shockwaves in that situation. I think that Hinduman is going to bring a lot to that table. And then my other one was probably going to be a mix between Wild Inferno and Dark Omen. I like both of those ADCs a lot, and I think they bring a lot to a team. It's going to be very close between those two for me. But I'm excited for this season, just like Divine Ape has said. I'm excited to catch these games, especially because, as you said, they may go for 100 kills, some of these.
Absolutely. It's going to have to ask me. I got to throw it to the team with the cleanest drip. You know, look good, feel good, play good. And that team for me is certainly going to be Storm Callers, man. Cosmic, bring it home for me, buddy. Don't let Phoenix bully you. Anyway, though, that is going to be your draft for Season 3 of Immortal. Before we go, though, once again, just quick reminders. Make sure to check out the Twitch, subscribe if you can, YouTube as well. Of course, we always have things popping off in the Discord. Keep an eye out for the alerts when we're going live, when we're posting videos, all that good stuff. Regular season coming up soon. Keep your calendars marked down, as well as for the Divine Draft starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. Watch how everything continues to play out. That being said, I've been D'Lo. That's been Divine Ape, as well as Phoenix. We had Cosmic here with us for a brief moment before Phoenix chased him on out, and we had Nublet, Almighty Eye in the Sky. Please make sure to drop your thanks into the chat. The work that he's been doing for the merch, for the production, everything you see in front of us, this beautiful desk that he bought with his own hard-earned money. Please throw some respect to the man's name. We really appreciate it. We're going to keep the draft numbers up here for a little bit longer just for your viewing pleasure, but that's all of it from us, guys. We'll catch you later.
Caution. Content's hot. 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 You got to give me all you got. Caution.
Content's hot. You got to give me all you got. Caution. Content's hot. You get to give me all you got. Caution. Content's hot. You get to give me all you got. Caution. Content's hot. You get to give me all you got.